Hello, brilliant beauties. This week, our lesson is divinely delivered and it's about vibration. I think about this topic so deeply because it's really personal to me. I learned that cancer cells cannot survive a certain vibrational frequency, and there's this machine called a Rife machine. And Rife machines are very, very expensive. And so I couldn't afford one. And I thought, but that doesn't mean this is something I want you to write down. Forever ingrain it in your memory, in the fibers of your being. I pray that this gets coded in the fibers of every bit of your being. No is just the first two letters of the words not yet. Did you hear that? I want you to hear it again. No is just the first two letters of the words not yet. So when I wasn't able to afford the Rife machine, I thought, you know what? That doesn't mean that disease has to have a home in my body. I went on a quest as a scholar to learn. And I learned that cancer has a specific HZ frequency. Well, that's not true. Sorry. I learned that the Rife machine has a specific HZ frequency and that cancer cells cannot survive in that frequency. Cancer cells, it does kind of make sense, would have a certain frequency. That's interesting. Or maybe that's how the machines detect cancer. That might be true. I'm not positive. So I also had learned cancer can't survive in an alkaline environment. I also learned that sugar magnifies the growth of cancer cells. So I was doing all of these things, I made a whole biobehavioral scorecard in my paranoia. And I have all these biobehavioral practices. And the one that led me to the importance of sound and vibration was this Rife machine. And I learned that everything has a vibrational frequency. So let's Google together. Go ahead and open a new tab. Vibrational frequencies of emotions. Let's look at that. High vibrational frequencies like joy, love, gratitude, and passion. High. Low ones, fear, anger, guilt, and sadness. So where are you coming from? Let's see here. Emotions, lower frequencies. So interesting to me. I think we can heal. We have tremendous power to heal our bodies. Whoa, here's what I just learned. Authenticity is a higher vibration than love. So a lot of people, myself included, I used to think that love was the highest vibrational frequency. And it says the frequency of authenticity is 400 times higher than that of love. And I'm being told right now that everybody who is coming into the Awakening program will just be drawn in. And it's probably because that is an authentically designed and delivered program. Let me tell you why. It's not at all what I was planning on. It's not the scholarly, strategic, and systemic knowledge that I've had. It's knowledge that's been delivered to me in a very divine way. And I connect it and package it using my knowledge of high performance and my knowledge of leadership. Because that's the knowledge that all of us want, right? We want to know how the world's best perform. The world's highest performers consistently outperform. They're not on this peak performance, scale the peak, plummet to the valley, scale the peak, plummet to the valley. We played that game in our 20s and we're fine with it. 30s, we tolerated it. By 40s, we're like, no way, Jose, that is exhausting, right? So this scaling and plummeting is exhausting. The highest performers, they're more consistent. Do they experience some dips? Yeah, but nothing like peaks and plummets. So that's an important part of our knowing. The Awakening program, though, I'm told that the earth is ascending and we're in the middle of this grand awakening. It's why you see, 2 weeks ago at my church, 70 people got baptized. 70 people said, yes, God, your way is better. And if that's you, and if church and organized religion, if you're like me and those things were like a little itchy, like nails on a chalkboard kind of itchy, I'm here to tell you that God wants to know you. The reason that that's pulling towards you, that's a vibration. It's the vibrational frequency of love. It's why it tugs at you, it nags at you. So the Awakening program is designed for you to awaken into the next level of your life. You weren't meant for this noise and the narrative of not enough. You were meant for so much more. And it's when you can step into that and awaken to your next level of leadership that you gain the courage, the confidence, and the commitment levels that will help you reach your next level in your career. And the beautiful part is it has a tremendous effect on everything else too, on your life. It's amazing how I think sometimes one of the lessons I learned is how 2x is actually harder than 10x. And it's because when we're 2xing things, we're just doubling. When we're 4xing, we're quadrupling. And we often don't have the amount of energy that it actually takes to quadruple, right? I remember when I made the decision, my daughter wanted to ride horses and I was broke as a joke as an educator. I couldn't afford that. And so I had to quadruple my earnings. That was hard ass work. Well, now here I am. Let's see, am I looking to 10x? Probably more like 20x. I'm going to 20x, but it's going to be easy. And here's why. Because I know I'm not fighting anymore. I'm in flow. So we have fight states where we're pushing towards a goal, and we have flow states where we're drawing in the support and the beauty and the brilliance that we need to be able to achieve that goal with ease. And that's because our soul had already determined that we were going to achieve that goal. When you're aligned with the divine and the purpose of your life, your goals will flow easily. It won't be such a fight. I want you to hear that. It won't be such a fight. If you're noticing yourself in fight mode, sometimes we've got to fight, right? We've got to fight and discover. The discovery process can be a bit of a fight. Yet when we truly step into the divine, things flow and gravitate towards us. And so for that to happen, we have to know about our vibrational frequencies, which I'm so blown away by because the only reason I know these is because of Cancer, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, here it is, Cancer, this divine blessing that came into my life. I never would have thought that I would ever say those words, but it taught me to be human. It taught me to give and receive love and support and help. Mostly the giving part I was good at is the receiving part that was really difficult for me. So let's talk frequencies. So today we're talking about you deserve to grow, and growth requires a new frequency. One of my clients said to me this morning, she and I have check-ins daily, and she sends me things that she reads. And this morning, I thought that message ties directly to my Thursday Live message. Her message said, I prefer to focus on the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who have positive energy. Positive energy is supportive, uplifting, inspiring, and contagious. Creating or joining a circle of woman-identifying individuals whose energy is positive doesn't mean those individuals are perfect, consistently happy, or high achievers in all things. Ain't that the truth? You know it. You're a high achiever. You know that's true for you. I'm a high achiever. This is true for me as well. Positive energy also includes energy that is warm, forgiving, and compassionate. You will find your circle of women who are all of these things because you are a woman who is all of these things. Your energy will attract your circle. As we choose that system of support and encouragement, we're choosing our energy. So I want you to think about the Awakening program. If you feel you need a higher vibe tribe, that's part of what I feel like I'm being called to deliver. It's not only important that you know how to edit your environment. You don't need a full reinvention, thank God. You just need to make small, subtle changes, and those small, simple swaps in the things that we do. So I'm going to give you your editing checklist, your extraordinary life edit. And I'm going to give you the consciousness meal plan. Not only will you probably, I dropped 43 pounds on this plan, so you'll probably lose a little weight. But most importantly, the way that you sleep when you lower your digestive load is incredible. So you'll have restorative sleep. You'll wake before your alarm. You'll have such great focus that things will get done. You'll get extra hours in the day. Like literally, I woke up 3 hours before my alarm today with a vibrant fire and energy. And that kind of energy and vibrational space is the space in which miracles and magic happen in our lives. That's why vibration is so important to me. I wouldn't have known it had it not been for cancer. And I'm so happy to share it with you. And I hope to God it doesn't take cancer for you to wake up and raise your vibration. Turns out Marky Mark and the Beach Boys were right about this subject. So let's talk about how to raise our vibration. I almost said how to vibrate. Let's not talk about how to vibrate. Although one part of the program in Awakening that I was called to share is about sexual energy and elevating your consciousness. However, I'm also being told that not everything needs to be shared. This isn't like leadership or high performance, where all of the information about God, all of the information about consciousness and awakening, it's not meant for every single person. Because if we all knew, well, first of all, no one knows it all, right? But even the things that I'm learning, if I was to share all of these things, it might freak a person out. It might scare them, right? And I know that's why God's scripture tells us that God delights in the details of our lives and directs the steps. When I look at moving to our property out on 5 acres, 5,800 square feet, every room, even my toilet, overlooking the Rocky Mountains, 5 acres, a barn, ducks, chickens. If God had shown me that dream when I was first starting to dream that I could maybe make it and provide a horse for my daughter, if God had shown me all that, I would have freaked out and said, no way. But God didn't do that. God works in increments. God's supporting you incrementally so that you don't get scared. So I am told to share this information with great discernment and not to fire hose people, and instead to deliver it when you're ready. So some people will demonstrate readiness to learn about Akashic records and soul contracts and twin flame relationships and karmic relationships, and to make sense of the hardest moments of their lives. Some people will get invited to that. Some people will get invited to talk about sexual energies and the vibrations. So, speaking of vibration, let's get back onto the topic. So, this is about the vibrational frequency that holds us in relationship with certain beings. I had divine beings drawn to me. I didn't have to work for them. I didn't have to overanalyze their fit in my life and put them through the Excel spreadsheet of decision-making matrix that I use. We were drawn together. It blew my mind. This gentleman who I had the most amazing meeting with, listen to his words. I'm finding them right now. He said, quote, "You called me in. You prayed and I showed up." I was like, wow, that's all I had to do. So, honey, get off the struggle bus. You're not meant to stop at the bus stop at self-doubt, at I'm not enough, at not believing in yourself, being discouraged, being distracted. All those bus stops, honey, you weren't meant to be at the bus stop. Life is a highway, and I want to ride it all night long. You were meant, honey, to be in your Porsche on the highway, not starting and stopping at the bus stop, getting on that struggle bus, feeling stressed, managing every minute, trying to control every single thing because you're afraid. I had a gentleman who told me, "You held me at arm's length." And I thought, no, I didn't. I desperately wanted love. And he said, "But you didn't let me in." And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah, you're so afraid you're trying to control everything." Talk about, and I went, I do that in every aspect of my life. I'm so afraid I'm not going to be successful enough. I try to control every career move, every step, every resume bullet that I'm building. I do it with such strategy and such intention. I do it in relationships. I do it with my daughter as a parent. I do it with my nutritional plan and my biobehavioral practices that I hope will prevent cancer recurrence. And then I realized that there's a biology of belief, that our belief systems actually have deep, deep meaning. And that's why in the Awakening program, I'm going to teach you the number one thinking tool that will transform every relationship you have. So if we think about these relationships, right, we're all in a series of relationships as business owners and as leaders and as career women. We're constantly in relation to others. And I've had some really people who I've had to work with this week who are difficult, and it's because their vibration is so low. They're riding that stress and struggle bus, and I can literally feel it in every interaction. I see their name on my phone and I'm like, "Oh God." Right? We've all had those employees, we've all had those partnerships. And the sad reality is those kinds of business partnerships I won't be renewing, right? I won't be inviting to the next level of success, and they'll miss out on being their inner millionaire as a result. So raising our vibrational frequency is so important. And it's also important, it's something that we can dance with and play with. There is an individual who I know their vibration's low right now because they're going through a really difficult anniversary, the anniversary of something difficult. And I chose to raise the vibration with intention because the vibration of everything that I do in my business is important because it's for you. And therefore I do it deliberately and with great discipline and determination. So everything in our world is held together by frequency. These frequencies act like a magnetic gravitational force that pulls together other frequencies. I've even noticed it being here at the barn that animals are sometimes, there's a horse that's over here that will literally stare at me, stopped dead in its tracks and stare at me. That's how I knew this was real. Not only was I feeling the animals drawn to me in different ways, but when I would lay in bed at night, at the end of a busy day, I used to lay in bed so exhausted. And now I'm laying in bed and I feel the surgence of energy through my fingertips. Lee Holden has taught me how to use chi and that life force energy. And I'm like, I lay in bed and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really surging through my fingertips. And the most beautiful thing that's happening as I focus more on my consciousness meal plan and eating for vibration, I'm like, whoa, I feel it now when I lay in bed along my back. It's like I'm being lifted and supported gently, very gently lifted and supported. And it's so, so beautiful. So these similar frequencies, when I'm in that high vibrational frequency, it might be that another soul is there supporting me. I've had a woman who I absolutely adore, who passed away 2 years ago, be in my presence, supporting me, bringing things to me in ways I've never done business like this before, right, friends? Like, I'm miscalculated, strategic, make the spreadsheet, execute like a pro. And I'm here to tell you that fight can be exhausting. There is another way to run your business. And it starts with God. It starts with frequency and vibration. That authenticity of yourself. I am who you say I am. God says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. That's one scripture. Strong and courageous, the book of Joshua teaches us that. And there's a whole list of other items that we are enough, that we were created. We're created in God's image. If you think of all of the beautiful things when you think of God, those things are in you. That is your identity. And I feel like we're living in the middle of an identity crisis. We have lost who we are. So many of my clients, they don't know who they are anymore. They can only tell me about what they do. And so that's your grand invitation. The agitations that you're experiencing are an invitation to discover who you are. And when you discover who you are, you will be in that frequency that is a very high vibrational place. So I want you to imagine every object, every place that you spend time, every thought, every emotion, every intention you set has this invisible number attached to it that denotes its frequency. Your relationships, I want you to think of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Every one of those relationships has a frequency that holds it together. Toxicity, those toxic relationships, you know the ones you feel really drained after you engage with. Those frequencies are in the 0 to 300 hertz range. They're draining you literally it's like a battery, right? In those toxic relationships, The relationship is held together by fear, lust, low self-worth, jealousy, stress, survival, a lack of self-love. And as long as you stay in that low vibrational space, that relationship will be held together. Yet the moment you raise your vibration frequency above that 300 hertz range, that relationship will naturally dissolve. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to break up with it. You don't have to fire it. It will naturally dissolve. It's beautiful. Because when we break ties, there's also an energetic equal and opposite reaction, right? So when you allow it to dissolve, there's no magnet holding it together anymore because one person is vibrating much higher than the relationship. So the universe will begin to separate those individuals and attract events that pull them apart. Their directionality will shift. The beautiful thing is, the same thing is also true when we operate in high vibrational frequencies. There was one night my phone rang and it's something inside me said, answer it. I never answer unknown numbers. This particular day, I was leading a master class called Clarity to Seven Figures. And I was kind of tired. And I'd had a really long day. I'd packed my home, preparing to downsize and move. And I delivered the class. I was getting ready for bed. I come back out of the bathroom. I see my phone on the nightstand. And something inside me said, answer that call. The vibrational frequency of that person said, answer me. And I met one of the most amazing students at the University of Denver, which is where I graduated. And this was an alumni fundraising call. And they happened to have, get this, a new program for psychological oncology. I was like, yes, I want to support that, right? It was just this beautiful thing. And then that individual has now opened some doors for me to have access to one of the best investment advisors in the world, who's helping me set the stage for the moment when my business is earning $1 million a year. That has a vibration. That individual says, I love working with people who have big, ambitious goals and who believe in themselves. You know what, honey? I wasn't attracting those kinds of people when I was riding the stress and struggle bus. When I was on the stress and struggle bus, I was in a different vibration. I was attracting salesy people who wanted things from me. The exchanges were transactional. The vibrational space, if I was to guess it, would probably have been 200 to 400 on the Hertz scale. And now I'm in this space that's more in the 700 to 900 Hertz range, to 1,000 range. Here's how for those of you who are like, what is she talking about? Go to YouTube and type 999HZ frequency. And just pick something, close your eyes for a moment, then open them and look at the web page and pick something that draws you in. Listen to it and stay in that vibrational space. You'll notice an inner knowledge things will come to you that you don't know how you know. You'll notice a feeling of being lifted. You'll notice clarity. You'll notice all kinds of amazing things. And when you bathe in those sounds, you'll heal your body and you'll make better decisions. You'll be a better mom. You'll be a better partner to the people in your life. You'll be kinder at the grocery store. You'll get frustrated less often. These frequencies are so real. And so in that higher vibrational space, we attract and magnetize amazing people into our lives. Just the other day, I was on a live and I needed some help with marketing. And I end up on this call with someone who literally is speaking his truth, and everything he's saying is exactly what I want to do. There was no, I kind of like this part, but I don't like that part. What about this part? It was just more like, yes, when. Not, oh, what if, blah, 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 da, 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 maybe, right? And this is an interesting thing because when we stay in that discovery process, that's faith-ish. That's something I learned from another divine encounter this week, a 30-minute meeting that turned into 2.5 hours. This is the kind of space you get to spend in when your vibration and frequency is high. You'll be with people. Anybody frustrated by people right now? Are there people who are in your life who you're like, I used to be there. When I rode the stress and struggle bus, I had a lot of those people in my life. And now, literally, I mean, there'll be little things sometimes people do, but my response, because I'm using words that have high vibration, my response to them raises their vibration and we all stay high. It's like I'm holding the vibrational space of everyone in my circles. And they're not at such a low vibration that it's really difficult, right? They're all up here. And I'm kind of like the juggler, keeping everybody's vibration high, which is amazing because that came to me in a very divine vision of me being the grand orchestrator. I was like the orchestrator raising everybody up around me. And that was before I even knew about vibrations. And now it's like, oh my gosh, right? It's so incredible. So we have to think about our vibration, the space that you want to be in, stay in the vibration of that space for as long as you possibly can. It could even be, if you want to make it real simple, your favorite song. Just put it on and dance. One of my clients said, I feel like I should just dance, rock out to Taylor Swift and dance. I said, that's what you need to do then. There's vibrational frequency in that music for her that ignites her soul and lifts her. So for me, I love the science of it. So I like to learn about the scale and the vibrations that are associated with each organ and chakra and how to really manipulate my cellular structure. I'm going to be teaching you that in the masterclass component of the Awakening program. We'll have a masterclass 4 times. We'll look at the 4 things that set great leaders apart, the 3 states of consciousness. I don't have my notes in front of me. I'm like, what were the other things? Let me pull them up. I know exactly where they are. Give me just a couple seconds. Here we go. So 4 things that set great leaders apart, the 3 states of consciousness that are available to us on earth. Oh, this one, I can't believe I almost forgot this. This one's so good. The 11 feminine energies for 21st century prosperity, according to research at Fortune 500 firms across 18 nations. Whoo! Yes, I'm bringing you the boardroom and we're welcoming back our femininity. That divine femininity, believe it or not, is now correlated with 21st century prosperity. Can I get it? Amen. And then the sound frequencies that biotune your body for optimal health, vibrant energy, and the #1 strategy for raising your vibration. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for class, my friends? That's going to be what we focus on. You're also going to get 4 weeks of live high performance coaching. The world's highest performers have greater clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. So I've focused on clarity, energy, courage, and influence. I left out productivity because you're already probably highly productive and doing too much. And so we're going to focus on those other 4 because, again, it's a 4-week program. This is kind of a rocket boost, rocket fuel you so that as the school year ends and you transition into summer, you have the skills and the support to keep your vibration high, to achieve more in less time, to keep your business succeeding, your career growing, your income flowing, while also doing the work that matters the most as a woman in your family. You'll get 30 days. This one's my personal favorite because when I came back to God, God brought me the verse Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I literally was like, holy cow. I had to Google. So God brought me Romans 12:2 when I was divine prayer, laying in bed, had my eye pillow on. And I Googled it and I learned that. And I thought, oh my gosh, I want to know more verses like that. I laid back down, put my eye pillow on. And I was like, God, bring me more of those. I want to know more. And it turns out the Bible is loaded with verses on leadership and high performance. So I've pulled all of those for you so that we can start with scripture and use the longest lasting text. What blew my mind as I discovered these things is I was like, here I've spent over 20 years researching the subjects of leadership and high performance. And it turns out they're all in this one book. The one book that happens to be the longest standing and the most read. Don't ask me why I wasn't reading it. It wasn't in my curriculum plan in my PhD. So with that, I've chosen 30 strategically selected scriptures to help you begin with the Bible and believing you're worthy of being a high performance leader. Each and every one of us are leaders. If you led your kid to eat something healthy, to do their homework, to put on their shoes, to get to school on time, you're a leader. If you've convinced a friend to do something great instead of choosing what's easy, you're a leader. If you've listened with care and compassion, you're a leader. If you have a big ambitious vision for your life or for something in your life, you're a leader. Leaders cast compelling visions. Leaders care about people. Leaders see people's strengths and position them to succeed. Leaders support others' success. That's leadership. And you're likely doing that all day long without even knowing you are a brilliant leader. So I'm going to build that leadership identity in you so that you have that confidence boost, so that you have the courage and the commitment, because when you put those forces together, you will be in that high vibrational frequency and all of your dreams will start coming to you and happening for you and because of you. They're happening for you because you're doing the work. We know the world favors the committed. We know luck and good fortune favor those who are positioning themselves for it, right? You'll also receive in the program personalized prayers. This is a personal program. As a teacher, I keep anecdotal notes. I have anecdotal notes on every one of my clients. I have a prayer journal. I'm already, as I build this program, I'm praying over specific communities, over specific states, and over your neighborhood. I literally pray with the entire global map, and I pray up coastlines, across continents, and I stop in specific cities. And that energetically will likely be pulling you into this program. I don't know how that works, but the beauty is, the thing about life force energy, we don't know all about it, so we don't have to overthink it. Hallelujah! The bonus is you're going to get my high vibration meal plan so that you know what to eat, when to eat it, so that you can have optimal sleep. You can lower your digestive load so your body's not working so hard. I was learning when I first started studying food and nutrition back in 2013, 80% of our body's energy is used for digestion because we're eating the standard American diet. Ain't that sad? See the irony in that? Standard American diet. Get it? Sad. So the high vibrational meal plan is going to help you keep your vibration high. It's going to keep you healthy. It's going to give you that vibrant energy. And you drop a few pounds along the way. You'll discover you've got that hourglass figure again. I'm like shocked. I'm like, oh yeah, I love this. Right? I was a little more like muffin top. Now I'm like hourglass. You'll feel sexier. You'll also get the Extraordinary Life Edit checklist so that you know it doesn't require reinvention, but it'll feel a little like a reinvention, like a rebirth, right? Like a new version of yourself, because our environment conditions our behavior. B.F. Skinner teaches us that, operant conditioning. So we're going to look at our environment. You're also going to get a personalized biobehavioral scorecard, because you're not here to copy and compare. Comparisonitis is a symptom of fear. Jen Gottlieb, Be Seen, she teaches us that in her book. 4 symptoms of fear while we're at it. I love these. Overthinking, analysis paralysis, comparisonitis, and FOMO, fear of missed opportunities for those of us who are high achievers. We don't fear missing out because we know we weren't meant for that. We knew we were meant for an uncommon life, and we fear missed opportunities. So the biobehavioral scorecard, I'm going to share the details of mine, but the beauty is you're going to practice experimentation and agility as you develop and fine-tune what's best for you. Because the best piece of advice I got was to be my own health advocate. And I'm going to invite you to be your own leadership advocate, to be your own energy advocate, to be your own health advocate, to be your own advocate. My girl Robin Artzone on Peloton always says, are you listening to the critic or the inner advocate? Are you feeding your inner critic or feeding your inner advocate? We're working on advocacy, baby. Another bonus you're going to get is my 4 energy shifters so that you can make shift happen in your life. And then we're going to have some pop-up movie meetups and workout sessions because I know that we're better together. It's more fun for me when I'm with you, and it's more fun for you when you're not alone, right? You know you're not alone. My 1000th Peloton ride was it last week or the week before? I think it was last Wednesday. It was so much fun. I had 4 brilliant beauties with me. We're texting each other, you rock pictures. It was just absolutely amazing. So I want to give you the routines and rituals so that you can be in that flow state, in the vibrational frequency of flow versus fighting the day. I'm going to give you a 4-step plan to get into that state of flow as well. So with that, my friends, our time has come to an end, and I want to invite you to get out there, shine your love and light into this beautiful, brilliant world. I'm sending you so much love because that is one of the highest vibrational energies, and I'm choosing to show up as my authentic self, even though it does feel a little crazy. I had a person today who was like, maybe you'll be meeting with ministers, and they used ministers twice, and I was like, I've never met with ministers. And now I'm kind of becoming known as the God person. It's like a new part of my identity is being formed. And I remember way back when I was a teacher, my expertise was math and science. I was the math guru my first and second years of teaching. Then I was the science guru year 3, 4, and 5. I sucked at teaching writing so bad that I went and studied how to get better at writing so that I could better serve my students. And guess what happened? In that season or segment of my life, everyone thought I was the writing expert. I was like, this is really weird. I actually am only the expert at this because I used to suck at it so bad, right? Then I became the habits of mind expert, the systems thinking expert, the leadership expert, the high performance expert. Now I'm kind of like, I'm the God expert? No, definitely not. God's too big for any of us to really be an expert. But I am an expert at behavior, change, and transformation. And that is how God works. So we're just going to leave it at that, dance with the divine, and I'm rolling with the flow of it. You might be so sick of riding the bus of struggle and stress that you're ready to flow too, my friend. If that's you, the Awakening program is for you. I just want to see you there. My web designer's getting that page up and running as we speak, and I will have that and be promoting the heck out of that. Your job is not to question and discover and sit in the middle of stress and struggle. Your job is to just decide, yes, now's my time. If you're going to sit in stress and struggle, this isn't for you, because this community is filled with decisive decision makers who are saying now's the time, and they are going to be the rising tide that raises all ships. We don't need the hole in the boat that's sinking our battleship, right? We are setting sail. And so with that, that's going to be your decision. Only the decisive on this one, because the community deserves that high standard. And if you know that that high standard is the place you want to be, I've got your back, girl. With that, go out and shine your love and light into this brilliant world. Mwah.